Hi everybody. Right, so Praemando
Yes.
International. Tell me all about it. What is it?
What inspired me to start it was I'd done some associate work before I wanted to start my own VA business. Kids were young, it suited me at the time, but once they got a little bit older, I saw VA businesses or virtual assistant, drop the jargon, virtual assistant businesses that were scaling up, growing their teams, but actually losing contact with their clients. And they've obviously those clients have bought into that person when they signed up to have them as a VA. So I wanted to start a virtual assistant agency where I kept contact with my clients, but also had a skilled team that complement me, I complement them, we all do different things and have different skill sets. So it was a virtual assistant agency with customer service element.
So, I'm going to ask, because a lot of people go, there's a lot of AI, VA, everything else. What is a virtual assistant?
Essentially, it's a personal assistant that would support a director or founder of a business, whether it be a sole trader, tradesman, or an international business, but working remotely. So all of my team have got at least 8 years assistant experience. So we are remote senior executive assistants.
Right. So, have you got any really, really memorable business stories with it that help transform their business?
Um, yeah, so one client, it wasn't actually, well, it was for his business. So I've got some clients that have to do their sort of CPD, personal development modules every so often if they've got a part of a professional status or part of a body that they have to adhere to. And this person will know who they are if they're watching this. They basically have to go to the US every sort of 5 years to keep up their hours, doing what they do. I'm trying to be careful and not give anything away. And basically on the flight, they left their passport in the seat back of the aircraft.
Nightmare.
Yeah, it will be when I tell you the rest. Got to their hotel, and obviously the first thing they say is, "Can you give us your passport so we can check you in?" And that was the only point they realised they didn't have their passport with them and left it on the aircraft. But they was only there for a short while and had to get a connecting flight in 24 hours. And so my job was to find said passport. Got in touch with the airline, time differences and everything else. And I knew if I didn't find it, the only other option was to call the consulate. That was a 6 hour drive each way. You couldn't fly there. Anyway, I got in touch with the airline. They found the passport. I managed to get the client to pick it up from the airport for their connecting flight.
Oh, hero. I've got
And I
hero
had a copy on the drive so they could check into their hotel.
of the day. So it is like you literally could be doing anything regarding business
And
wise. So you are the
personal life. We
right
do
hand
cover personal
man.
life stuff as well. So any personal life concierge, we book car MOTs, doctor's appointments, stuff for their families, trips away, whatever they need, tickets, concerts
What's
and shows.
what's the actual benefit? I'm going to go completely off it. Benefit of actually having a VA because obviously I suppose it comes down to money really because not everybody can afford a full time employee as a.
Yeah. So we don't charge any on costs, so like maternity pay, sick pay, holiday pay, pensions, all that kind of thing that employers would generally have to pay. Um, don't need any desk space for us. You don't have to train us. We all know how to use different systems. We don't need to be micromanaged. So you're saving all that time. In fact, I onboard all clients and train my own staff. So the client never has to do it multiple times. And also, we're productive. So if you had a retainer package with us, like 10 hours a month is our starting retainer. We don't have breaks. We're not charging you for breaks. We're not charging you for making a coffee or going out for a cigarette or, it's all actual working on your business.
Obviously, yeah, because that's got to be one of the major things when you think about what a secretary or somebody that you employ, the amount of time they actually not doing any
Yeah.
work. They're talking over the photocopier machine.
Or you find I've got clients that have got 40 to 50 hour retainers with us, international businesses. So smaller businesses don't need that much. And we're essentially covering a full-time person's job in those 40, 50 hours a month when they would have 40 hours a week for a full-time person because We haven't got downtime. We clock on, we clock off, and every time we stop and start for them.
But
And it's flexible. So whilst we try and stick to office hours, if they know something's coming up they need our help with, or, you know, if I'm not out and they happen to message me and I'm near my laptop, I'll help them out straight away.
flexibility is probably key
And
with
so I
that then. 'Cause
cover any sickness, annual leave if they need it. It's offered to the clients.
so your team as well. So they have a designated VA
Yeah,
themselves that
doesn't keep changing.
doesn't keep changing?
They build a relationship. I think the main thing about being a good personal assistant is you should be able to second guess what that client wants before they know they need it,
Yeah. So you
and
can know their
call
business.
their next move before that it becomes a problem for them. So it's something you've taken away from them. They don't even know it's happened. You've just taken care of it. That takes time to build that relationship. Once you've got that relationship, it's gold.
Yeah.
But it does take time. It's like any
So
relationship. We should be their work wife.
you everyone needs a work wife. You've been
Work
my
wife.
work wife over years. I can
I'd
assure you that.
one client whose wife messaged me because he cried when I handed him off to one of my VAs. He's very happy still, but yeah.
That's probably one of your great success stories as well, because people don't like change, do they? And obviously, I've already know the story of the fact you've moved on, because obviously you're building your business. So with everything, people should delegate jobs out, and you get to a point where you have to hand it over to someone. So that
Try and
transition
practice
must have
what I
been,
preach.
yeah,
So my first person in my team was my own PA. Vicky, hello Vicky. She knows me very well. She knows exactly what I would do next. Most of the time, she'll still question herself, still doubt herself. Sometimes she's like, "Is this the right thing to do?" I was like, "Yes."
yes.
But that's just double checking. She actually knows the answer before she's even asked me the question. Um, I think it comes down to confidence. A lot of it. It's just being sort of, direct. I think clients like us because we're sounding boards as well. We don't just do their admin, take care of their business and personal lives. We see a lot of businesses, so we know what works, what doesn't. We can do mentoring, we can brainstorm with them. So there's a lot of different things. It's not just a PA relationship, but it's having like employment turn on its head.
I suppose it's probably ideal for all these small business and entrepreneurs we've got in Ongar that literally are overwhelmed with everyday tasks, that they could be out earning more money themselves doing the job that they're doing,
That they're qualified to do or their
that-
specialist area.
rather than
And
getting
it's low
bogged
risk.
down.
We can do like 10 hours a month for someone. It doesn't sound a lot, and they're going to think, oh my God, what do you do for 10 hours a month? But actually, it's like having a part time person when you just want to test the waters. We don't do
Yeah.
long contracts, they're 3 months. And then you could leave us after 3 months if you wanted. But we've got clients that have been with us for the full 10 years that we've been operating. So I like the long term relationships. But what I'm trying to say is it's low risk.
So which is like on a typical day then, so them 10 hours, can you split that like half an hour a day over the month where you literally just going into their inbox
There's
and
about
going through?
20 working days a month is about half hour a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually some days they might need an hour and a half, another day they might need 15 minutes. Just depends what the priorities are that day. And we'll never say, "Do you know what, you've reached your hours, we can't do any more for you." I'll
Yeah.
always say, if I think they're over their hours halfway through the month, I'll always look at the hours and say, "Look, I think we might go over your hours this month. Do you want us to stop dead on the 10, 20 hours, whatever the commitment is? Or do you want us to continue and we'll just monitor?" Sometimes they'll go, "Do you know what, go to 15 hours," or they'll budget for it. But I would never use hours that we haven't been approved for anyway.
No. So if they weren't hiring you, do you have a one time tip you could share with local businesses watching
Yes.
today? What would be your tip?
Time blocking. And everyone's going to go, what? Your diary. You should map out your day. So my diary, I will have commitments in there, like recurring commitments. So some of it will be business planning or goals and reviewing stuff. We've got some clients that are funded and through Access to Work. It's a very long-winded program, but very valuable program. There's criteria you have to meet for that, but I've got a certain amount of focus on that. Where it's government funded, so we have to jump through hoops for that. There's things I know I need to be focusing on each day or each week. I'll put them in my diary first, and everything else fits around that. So my meetings fit around that. I'll only commit to a certain amount of meetings a day, and put the important things that are going to take your business forward in your diary first,
Yeah. And
and
have
then put
wiggle
everything
room.
else in. If you're not sure how to do it and you don't want to be a client because you don't want to commit, I do a 90-minute session that helps.
Fabulous. Giving tips and tricks away. So we've already sort of gone over like the services you do. You do the email thing. What other services do you offer, like email inbox
Yeah,
management?
the main thing people come to us firstly for is email and diary management. It's not always the way, but most commonly they're the two tasks. I think they like to test the trust and see how we manage it. Do we do it the way they want to do it? We always ask them how they would like things managed. It's about suiting them, not suiting us.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, I'm not the worst client. He's my best client. Shouldn't have favourites, right? But yeah, 34,000 emails in his inbox when I first started working with him. We got it down to like 200.
Can you come and do
Yeah.
mine, please? Desperately, 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 desperately.
One of my team members will know exactly, again, who I'm talking about, but confidentiality and all that. So yeah, we can help anyone. We can help anyone, but it's more, not every VA is going to be right for every client and vice versa. It's not even about industry that they're working in or do we specialise only in certain areas. It's much more about the person and the relationship you have with them rather than the services you offer or,
I suppose
yeah,
that's pretty
the
much like,
communication's got to be clear.
yeah, that's probably pretty much like employing anybody, isn't it,
Yeah.
really? That you would want to make sure you've the right fit to that
I
person.
will say we can't help people that don't want to help themselves. So they sign into a contract. We've had clients before that sign into a contract and they'll go into the Witness Protection Act. You can't get hold of them.
Ah,
Yeah, that happens.
yeah,
They
no,
want
I
our
get
help,
that.
but it's like they're almost too busy. But it's, yeah, we only need them really for the first couple of weeks, just whilst we're sort of getting used to their business, and then normally we can get on with it after that. But it's just, yeah, uncontactable. It's weird, really.
Is that why you do a 3-month contract as well? I suppose because you need
Yeah,
to prove yourself. You can't. Nothing's fixable in a month.
yeah. And
You've got to
is
build a
are we right for
relationship.
them? Are they right for us? If we can't work with them, I don't want to do people a disservice either by taking their money, but they're not
No.
contactable. So it's, yeah, it's a bit of a trial period, I suppose.
Do you, so with the you do the email management, you obviously do diary management, I presume, as well, because if you're
Yeah,
doing emails, then people want to request
yeah,
time meetings and times. Do you deal with things like quotes or invoicing or anything like that? Is that something you
yeah.
could
So
go
we can
into it?
work with clients different CRMs. When they manage all their clients and all the clients' data, we can update that. We can refresh it, make sure it's all still relevant data. People's phone numbers or addresses might have changed. We can do invoicing. We can do bookkeeping. Um, Marketing, we partner with different people. Call answering, we've partnered with a UK-based call centre.
Oh, that's handy. So with the call answering, is that like that could be really suitable to any of the small businesses we've got in Ongar, like the gardeners
Yep.
or any trades that don't want to answer their phone and
Trades
don't
are
want to.
renowned for it. Not, they're good at what they do. They're great at what they do, but they can't answer their phones because they're probably rewiring something, or and they miss so much
Well,
business.
I presume, yeah,
Um,
because then what's if somebody doesn't get through? If they've found them on Google or they've found them, if they don't get a plumber straight away or
we'll
they
go to
don't
the
get
next
an
one on Google
electrician, yeah.
or
So
Check
some
Trade or whatever platform they're on.
so to answer that call next, that would
Yeah,
be.
I mean the call answering. We've got 5 different packages. We've just started some other packages to make it more flexible to suit everyone. But the packages start from £28 a month plus whatever calls we answer. And that's a minimum of 3 months as well. So it's the same as our retained work,
So
but it
that could
just
be a profit
works.
in one job,
Yeah.
really.
And that's 7 days a week, 8 till 8.
I think that's the biggest thing I've got at the moment, and especially as you know, obviously I do the marketing. I've done bits for you, and I've done bits for everybody else. And it's the biggest thing at the moment. We know everybody's struggling. We know there's a lack of money out there, but one of the biggest things is our probably rate of design, my design work or your admin or whatever, is probably less than what their trade rate is.
Mm.
Yet they're doing it themselves, which then is a cost to them eventually,
In kind
and they're
works.
probably taking longer to do the service.
Yeah, I worked out. Well, actually, I think you've done the exercise with me. A presentation we
Oh,
was working on once.
the
Return of investment,
yeah,
and I think if a tradesman, plumber, electrician, whatever it may be, had us on a 20-hour retainer per month, based on the rate that we charge and the rate that they charge, and we only took the average, not the higher end as well,
Yeah,
didn't we? Because we didn't want to overcalculate it. They get 100% return of investment.
yeah, which is not
So they're
rocket
bringing in
science.
more business, not losing the calls, things. The client and the customer service process is much more streamlined. So we do client onboarding processes as well. We can respond to client inquiries, answer any questions they've got. Obviously, we go through, sit down with the client initially before they do any contracts with us, and just the most frequently asked questions, that kind of thing. But once we've been asked that question, we record it so we know what the answer is. We don't have to keep asking the business owner and, essentially annoying them.
Eventually, you are the AI brain just absorbing information, and
AI
then
brain.
you are the AI brain. AI taking over the world, but there is still a need for us.
Yeah,
still got to
just
put the
about,
information in. Just
holding on.
about. Not retired completely yet.
People still
Um,
want people.
so if anybody has got any questions, oh, we've got then. Obviously, comment below or thing. But what is the best way for them to contact you? Where can they see what you're doing? Or
Yeah, so it will be on LinkedIn, either my personal LinkedIn, so we'll post the links below.
LinkedIn, great for business to business for all these
Yeah, and
trades out
ours
there.
is generally business to business as well. So that's, I'd say, the platform of focus for us. I think when we first started, it was more Facebook
Yeah.
because it's more sole traders, trades. We still work with those people. That's fine. People think 'cause I've scaled the business, we only work with bigger clients. It's not at all. But LinkedIn, yeah, because we're just more business to business based. No one really comes to us just for their personal life. It starts with their business, and then sometimes the business and personal life obviously cross over. But LinkedIn, we'll post that below for the business page and my personal page if anyone's got any questions, or Praemando.com.
Website, got all the details
Yeah.
there. So, what else? Is there anything else you think you need to be telling us?
Just if anyone's got any questions, don't be afraid to
I
ask. You
know.
can have a 30-minute free call with me if you're a business owner, just to find out what kind of things we can help you with. If you tell us about your business, I'll tell you what we can help with, and help you to move forward rather than being stuck or just going around in circles or working all hours.
So if anybody does want the link to book a discovery call with Lindsay, comment discovery and we will send you the link so you can book a 30-minute, which I think is really worthwhile because she may be able to do something that you don't know you need.
I will tell them if I can't.
Yes.
I'll be
Honesty is
honest.
the best. Honesty is the best policy, and it's.
Yeah,
I know over the years, the 30 years I've been doing what I'm doing, you're not always going to get the best fit with clients. It's not. You don't say yes to every
no.
client. That's one
We don't want
thing,
every client, we want the right clients, and we want it to be right for them as well.
and that works both ways. So, and with me, with most of my clients, the longevity is probably 8-10 years that I've been working with them
Yeah.
and kept them for that time because you build up them confident relationships.
Yeah, I love it because I feel like I've found if there's a short term relationship, unless it is a specialist project and we know it's a short term thing. I think in 11 years I've been doing this, I think I've terminated 2 contracts,
Wow.
which is pretty good, I think, over
Yes.
that span of time. But I'm not afraid to say now. I think I was at the beginning. I think when you first start any business, you just want any client because you just want your first client over the sort of threshold. And it's like, and this hunger for it. Now I'm much more careful because 20% of the people will cause 80% of your problems.
Yes, this is a good show. It's also as well the same thing as well. You probably see a lot of VAs and they're all promising it at really cheap rates or anything else. And as we all know, cheaper isn't always better. You
Yeah,
don't want to show that desperation. You need to know the value of what you're doing.
yeah,
And as you know, you've retained your clients and they're happy with that price. And
yeah.
it's
I think things were difficult before COVID because everyone was used to the traditional PA in the office, wanted a PA in the office. They didn't really grasp the virtual thing. Obviously, during COVID, everyone worked remotely, and that was great for the VA industry. But there's obviously a lot of redundancies and things like that. So a lot of people that had been maybe PAs previously, or admin assistants, or anything in that kind of world, or even people that weren't in those roles, then become a VA.
yeah.
And so when I first started, I think I was like the third VA in Essex. It was unheard of. But now there's one on every corner. You know, it's good. It's good, great for the industry, but I think there's a place for everyone.
There
But
is.
it's just, look, if you don't use us, that's absolutely fine. But just check what you need in your business, skill set wise, and make sure you're getting the right VA and that relationship is the right relationship.
Well,
That's top tip.
I think that's key with everything. If you want to grow your business, you need to be looking at reaching out and getting other people to delegate to other
Mm.
people, so you've got time to do what you're good
Yeah.
at, and that's the only way you can ever grow a business.
Since COVID, it's gone from me to 22 in the team, so
It's pretty
it
amazing.
works.
It does work. It does work. Yeah, as well. You've seen businesses grow around it as well. And you do a lot of networking, don't you, with the
I
BNI networking
do.
group?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a fair bit of networking with different networking groups. I started with Pop Connect. If anyone's interested in a more informal networking, contact Catherine Phillips. She's great, or I can put you in touch with her. Um, that's more sort of daytimey, lunchtime kind of hours most of the time, all across Essex and Kent and London. But I think my audience changed, and I think you've got to realise when to
Yeah,
move on. But I think that started really to make my business more known, more brand awareness. Great group of people, but yeah, I moved on to BNI, which is generally like 6:30 in the morning starts. But I like it now.
yeah,
It takes me
you
about a
like
month
it.
to get used to
But
it, but I love it.
the key factor is networking is key. Getting out there, getting talking to
I'm
people. Even
6 years
with
in, and it's just
Excel.
return of investment on it is phenomenal. So much so that I've put other team members in other parts in other counties, you know,
That's
to
very good.
geographically sort of get the word out. But it
Yeah,
does work. It does
well,
work.
yeah, networking 100%. But as I say, social media is probably the biggest networking platform you have because you can talk to absolutely everybody.
No.
And one thing is, I see people posting every single day and getting out there. But this is what I want to do with these chats: is try to put a face to the business, to try to get that networking
Yeah.
scenario going, the collaborations, and start talking to people. And
People
don't be afraid of it.
buy people
People do buy people. They're probably
or
about
not, as the case may be.
yeah. We
We'll
may
see
have
how this
lost
comes across.
we may have lost a fair few clients by now, but any, anyone that does
Thanks for listening.
anyone that does want to jump onto this, it actually does feel, even though I was petrified about coming on, it does
I
just
like
feel like a
it.
FaceTime. I'm not worried about who's listening. I am worried about listening. I hope you are listening and you're there and bits and pieces. But if anybody does want to come and talk about their business and come onto it, it is quite natural, isn't it? Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We was having like kittens about 3 minutes before we was coming on here, weren't we?
Completely. Completely. But don't be afraid of social media. Don't be afraid of getting on the camera. Don't people buy people, and I'm hoping people now understand your business a little bit better. If not, make sure you make a comment or get in touch with Lindsay, and you can find out more about it. But
Yeah.
people definitely buy from people. I really
People are
want
still
to.
miffed by the VA world. They are. I know there's still a lot of, well, I don't get quite what you do. I kind of get your job, but I don't know what
Well,
you
they've
do for
probably
people.
seen in your car driving about everywhere, Praemando, and still nobody has
Praemando
it.
mobile, as my son calls it. Yeah.
But don't be afraid. Tap Lindsay on the see her walking down the street. Tap her on the shoulder. Ask about her business if you want
Or
to
in
know.
Porterhouse,
Or in
since we're
Portsmouth.
talking local. Yeah. Shout out to Porterhouse.
That's such an office.
Literally.
But no. I say thank you very much for coming on and being my first guest on my
For having
lives, my little
me.
bubble.
And I
And
drank a
no,
whole cup of coffee. Normally I'm like half a cup.
well done. That's the nerves.
I
That's the
know.
nerves.
That's the work.
So hopefully this has been a little bit inspirational about people getting on the camera. Hopefully it's told people about your business. If not, don't be afraid to ask Lindsay a little bit more, especially if you're a sole trader, you're an entrepreneur, a business director that needs an extra VA, even if they've got a personal one
Or
already,
even if
they
you
just
don't know
want one.
where to start, I can point you in the right direction to lots of people, and I'm sure Kelly can as well.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
no, definitely. Oh, one last thing as well. Anyone looking to be a VA, you do a mentoring scheme, don't you, as
we do,
well?
and it's short, so it's not like you have to do this 12-week course or something long term. It's tailor made to if they've been employed, and they just want a bit more. Maybe they've had a kid, maybe they're just sick of going up London, not necessarily London based, but just example. And they thinking, oh, do you know what? I quite like this sound of this VA malarkey. I do a 90-minute mentoring session. So there's questions that I will send you before to find out where you're at and what you're hoping to gain from it. I'll tailor the 90 minutes to what you need. And then there's a sort of a bit of a checklist afterwards, the steps you need to go through to set yourself up. And anyone that does that goes into my pool of VAs. So as and when I get new clients come up, and they need different skill sets, I will always marry up personality and skill set, hopefully correct, with the client.
Fabulous. Right.
Hopefully I haven't got it wrong. Yeah.
Hopefully.
I like to
Oh
think I'm
yeah.
doing all right.
Oh yeah. You've had some success with the girls that are people that have come onto it, haven't you? So they've
Yeah.
gone off and they are working and they're doing
Yeah.
it. So
Technically, I mean, they've got their own businesses, their competition, but I like helping people that want to do this. An advocate for it, I
you
am.
are indeed. I would say you should in this world you should never be afraid of competition.
Yeah.
It only pushes you to strive to be better. That's what you want
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah. No, it's good. I enjoy that. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, okay, well, thank you very much, Lindsay, and
Thank you. Anything
hopefully,
longer?
anything longer. Hopefully, I can encourage more people to sign up, get advertising on the directory, which then obviously there's lots of different packages. I can tag us or message us, and I'll send you the link of what options are there. I want to start doing more collaborations with businesses. I want to be able to use what followers we've got on here, which are all quite, if you go through the demographics of it, are all local people, which is what we want to be doing. It's not about how many thousand followers you've got, you need the right followers, and hopefully the demographic of Got on Anything Conga is
I
the right
think
followers.
that's the key thing for me, really, with business, is that we do a lot, still a lot locally. I won't say in Ongar, but a lot around Essex, Kent, London. I'd like to do more locally.
Yeah.
Live in Ongar, 13 years, use a lot of the businesses down here for different things, and just, yeah, I'd like to collaborate a bit more.
Yeah, I still get a buzz out of seeing businesses grow. Their success is my success if I've been working with them and it's worked. So it's quite a nice. Oh, I'm going to have that as a tagline, I think. Oh,
Your success is my success.
your success is my success. Oh, look, there's a bit of branding for you. Oh, yeah, watch out, that's coming.
Watch this
Watch
space.
this space. All right, then we're getting to that point. It's been a half hour and then we're done.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank
See
you,
you later.
everyone.
Bye
See you
bye.
later. Bye.
That's brilliant.